how's it going? I'm at a beautiful place right now. It only cost $3.30 to get here. You should come visit. So I realized upon editing that my tiny mic is not compatible with my brother's DSLR. So you're gonna get voiceover Kaylee. The first place I visited was Harborfront. Normally I go later on in the day, but because I was taking a day trip all by myself, I left my house a little bit earlier. And when I got to Harborfront, it was lunchtime and I saw a lot of the people eating their lunch outside by the lake, looking out in the water, talking, sharing meals. And that was really nice. I always had this thought that if you work corporate, you're stuck in the office for 8 hours a day and then you go home and the sun has already set. You can't enjoy the day, but seeing all these people in their little suits, their really cute outfits with their expensive shoes, eating lunch outside and just talking to each other in the sun and looking out of the water made me realize that there are times in the day when you're at work where you can go outside for a bit and just enjoy the things around you. From Harborfront, I walked all the way to the Music Garden. And it's really beautiful. Again, the first time I went was the summer before university started. It's really small, but the greenery is so nice. There are so many pretty flowers in different colors. There's this one seating area where people have their lunch or their picnic or sit with their friends and they just kind of chat. I always say I love people watching because to me, it's so fascinating that this world holds so many people and every single person lives a unique life with a unique story. I always get really caught up in my own life, everything that I do, and I always feel like I have to do everything perfect. But it's nice to see other people living their lives and see other people enjoying their time because it reminds me that nothing I do is all that serious and probably nobody remembers, only I do. It was also a place that I took Victor to that he taught me how to use his camera and we had a lot of fun. I thought that day was really nice and I think about it often because probably one of the most perfect days I had. From the Music Garden, I walked all the way past Billy Bishop's airport on my way to Ontario Place. I don't visit Ontario Place often because it's quite far, but every time I do, it's gorgeous. And it's such a nice place to take a walk. It's also cool because it's right by the water. But unfortunately, the day I went, the middle of the park was closed. I stuck to the east side of Ontario Place. It was a very small portion. When I was walking around Ontario Place, there was this couple. The girl was in this very beautiful green and white summer dress. I forgot what the boy was wearing, probably shorts and a t-shirt. But they were riding their rented bikes around Ontario Place and they would often stop and take pictures. It made me so happy to see them spending their day together and having fun and loving each other's company. After I walked around Ontario Place for a bit, I got myself some Starbucks. The matcha is fire. It is really good. The strawberries I was kind of mad about. I probably shouldn't have put the strawberries in there, but they had a little sign saying that try our summer favorites and I was like, okay, I'll try it. I wanted a matcha drink. The matcha was so good. And the strawberries were good by themselves. I opened the lid and I ate the strawberries by themselves because I didn't want to drink it with the matcha. And I was on my way on the subway down to Harborfront. I was taking my AirPods out of my little bag. I accidentally dropped my dime on the floor and someone on the subway actually helped pick it up for me and that honestly made my day. I was smiling for the rest of my trip downtown because that was really nice of him to do that. I know this little day trip won't cure the pressures I have from society to be productive all the time, but I hope that this can be a little reminder to future Kaylee and all of those who need it that you don't have to wait for this magical world we call retirement, and you can enjoy the time and life you have right now. I'll see you next time. Love ya. I haven't used voice memos since I did my project in grade 10. I'm also sitting outside in front of my house in a lawn chair because I never thought I'd say this, but the AC in my house is too strong and I don't want to mess with the thermostat. I have all this footage that I took downtown and I wanted to make a sentimental film video. I had this outline of what I wanted the video to look like after it's produced, with what shots are with what audio, but I kind of just got overwhelmed and I realized that I just like editing with me talking about how I'm feeling in the moment. Maybe it could just be because I'm not super experienced with producing videos that are more laid out and structured, or maybe I'm just lazy and I don't want to actually write out my whole script. I also had portions where I was talking at the destinations that I visited about what each destination meant to me and when I would go. I don't know where the audio went. I took this mic and I think plugging in this mic did something funny with the camera audio. I have no idea. I was using my brother's camera and I have no experience with mics with DSLR cameras. I also wanted to write this whole monologue about how we have so much time before retirement and how growing up I always thought that after retirement was the only time that I had to enjoy my time on this earth. And I think if I recorded myself talking before going on that little day trip downtown, I would have had some really insightful thoughts. I don't know if they would be insightful, but insightful for me, at least what I was feeling at the time. But then I went on that day trip and I felt so much better, and I was like not in that sad mood where I was like, oh my gosh, the world is crushing down on me and I'm constantly surrounded by pressure. I took the train, the subway downtown to Harborfront. My neighbor just walked across the front of my house. I mean, she was going home because she's my neighbor, but she walked in front of my house and I waved to her, and it was kind of awkward because we don't really talk. And she kind of looked at me a couple times. I waved to her. Okay. What was I gonna say? First, I went to Harborfront, then I walked to the Music Garden, and then I walked to Ontario Place. The first time I went to all three of these places was the summer before university started. Maybe that's why all of these places mean so much to me and are so comforting. But also I think they are just the most beautiful places we have in the GTA area. I love the city, but I also love that there are parks and nature in the city where a lot of people go to visit, and I can see so many lives and so many diversity all in one place, and that's really comforting and something that makes me feel like Toronto is home. I was the type of person throughout school where I worked through any free time I had. There was no end to the amount of work I had to do. I don't know if it's me giving myself work because I see other people have time to relax and do the things I want even if we were in the same classes, but I never truly knew how to take a break because I always just wanted to check things off of my checklist. I also never saw lunch as a time to take a break because, again, throughout my whole life I would always work through my lunches, and I would always eat my lunch in the classroom with my math homework open beside me, or I'd always eat my lunch super fast so I could complete a project that I was working on. And I think a lot of it is because I spend a lot of time on my work to make sure that I use up all the time on improving the quality of the work I was handing in. I never knew when to stop or when I thought something was complete until it was time to hand it in. So seeing people in their little suits and their little working shoes just outside and enjoying their lunch break was really nice to see. Because that reminds me that your whole life isn't about the work you produce. It's about just enjoying the time you have, doing the things you want. Harborfront holds a lot of nice memories for me, and it's honestly my place of comfort that I visit when I'm feeling a little bit sad or lost in life. And I think it's because the person that I most regularly go to Harborfront with, she's a really good listener, and I don't think she watches my videos because I feel embarrassed when the people I know in real life watch my YouTube videos. Usually when we go to Harborfront together, we always end up talking about our deep thoughts. I don't know if they're deep because, again, I'm pretty young and I'm not sure if the deep thoughts I have now are really all that deep. Harborfront's probably one of the only times that I really get to talk about what I'm feeling to someone and not have to curate the things I'm saying in a way that I think won't make them upset. Something that she said to me that really stuck with me is that often I would apologize and saying that please let me know if what I'm saying is a little bit too much. I talk so much and blow things out of proportion so much that it could just make someone uncomfortable with how much negativity goes on with my thoughts. But she told me that she wanted to be someone that would listen and be a support system because she grew up having a support system and it kind of in a way felt like I didn't, and she wanted to be that person for me. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up a little bit right now, but that really stuck with me. I don't know if she knows how much it meant to me, but it does. And honestly, we don't talk all that often, but when we do, it's really special. Oh my god, I have to wipe my tears. Also, I see so many couples and families or friends walking around Ontario Place, and friendships and community is something that makes me so happy to see. As I was walking around, I just see so many people walking in Harbourfront, walking by the Music Garden, walking to Ontario Place. I see so many people biking and walking, and seeing people take other means of transportation other than cars makes me feel so nice, because I feel like a lot of Gen Z are really passionate about sustainability, and I am one of them. So it's super nice to see people just riding their bikes and taking a walk, but also at the same time, aside from being just something to get you from place A to B, it also reminds me that you can enjoy the weather and the things around you while you are getting somewhere for work. It's not like your whole life has to be surrounded by your career. You have the time that you're going to your work to enjoy the things around you. You have your lunch to enjoy the things around you. This whole trip honestly just made me realize that life isn't all that serious, and that I am not valued based on the work that I produce. And also that there's more time than I thought to enjoy the things that I do enjoy. Then I took the subway home, and I actually like taking the transit. Like, I love taking TTC and I love taking the subway because I just see so many people going somewhere different, and I see them, you know, you can catch the vibes. Like, someone's wearing corporate, they're going to work. There are students wearing their uniforms and coming home from school. Or just like people in their really cute outfits going somewhere to a cafe or on a date or to see their friends. And I also see friends talking to each other or families going on a trip together, and something about that is so charming and helps me slow down and admire life. I know I'm not magically cured from the pressures of society, but as of now I feel so much better to realize, again, this is probably not the first time I realized, to just enjoy life. And I know when school starts again, or when I have to work full time, I'll probably get caught up in all of that because that's just what happens. Maybe looking back and seeing this video that I made will help me realize that there is time to slow down and enjoy life. Message to future Kaylee: don't wait for retirement, and don't chase the time you think you will have later on to do the things you want. Just do them now. You have the time.